Hey there kids, it's me, MrCreepyPasta. And before I get to tonight's story, I just wanted to tell you about one quick event that's coming up this weekend. May 4th through the 6th, me and MadameMacabre will be in Seattle, Washington at Cryptocin. You can learn more about Cryptocin by using the link that you see on your screens right now, or by clicking the link that's in the description down below. Okay, sorry. Didn't mean to take up too much of your time. I'll get on to tonight's story, and hopefully I'll see you guys this weekend. Sorry I haven't been around for so long. I had an accident. Pretty bad one. I'll talk about it some other time. There's been an outbreak here. It started about 3 weeks ago, when the leaves were just turning. Tourists poured in from all over the country. I mean, it happens every year. They go camping before the first snow, they take pictures. It's our town's last tourist season before everything shuts down for the winter, and we're used to handling the influx of people, but with that many people, of course you're going to see a big increase in accidents and reports. And a lot of reports were usually bear, Bigfoot, wildcat, serial killer sightings. An equal amount of fires, gunshots, disorderly conduct, basic first aid calls. I cannot stress enough how mundane most of our days are. I mean, in terms of unusual events. We can go months and sometimes years without any real huge incidents, but that being said, we seem to be in the middle of an outbreak. In the last 3 weeks, we've had more unusual reports than we've had in the past 8 months combined. Maybe it's because people are paying attention, but isn't it equally possible that people are hysterical? Maybe they just want to see things because they've heard about them and they want their own stories to tell. And a lot of them are probably just that. This is one of the ones that fits into the tiny percent of reports that we can't shelf and dismiss as coincidence. One of the few with physical evidence. I got a report about a possible body sighting, and was dispatched to check it out. Callers were waiting out by that trailhead for me. A mom, her 2 daughters. One of the girls, the taller one, who I'll call MK, was talking about how she instantly recognized the bones as human. And made it clear that they hadn't disturbed anything at all. The shorter one, bright green-haired SK, was quiet. I asked her if she'd seen anything. She seemed visibly upset by the experience and didn't say much. MK explained that she'd been out hiking to do some scouting. I didn't ask what she meant, so she continued and clarified that they had been looking for anything unusual. My mom broke in and assured me that they weren't looking for trouble. They'd heard stories about things going on in the woods and were simply using it as an excuse to get out and do a bit of hiking before the winter. SK stayed close to her mother and only nodded in agreement at the appropriate points. At about the half-mile marker, MK pointed off the trail ahead of us. The bones stood out against the orange and reds of the fallen leaves where it had fallen, and it was easy to spot. Long, curved, it was completely clean of any flesh or muscle. A foot away, leading into the trees and away from the path, a slightly larger one, also clean, lay haphazardly on top of a fallen branch. We were careful to skirt around it as we passed. 4 more behind that led into the thicket that they described, and tucked up under a bush was the torso. The mother backed away, and SK took her arm and held it tightly. MK knelt beside me, frowning. We inspected it together. Whoever he had been, he hadn't been toned. Bits of dead leaves and bark were stuck in the thatch of thick chest hair. After a brief survey of the area, we both felt certain that the rest of the man wasn't nearby. Nothing had been disturbed. What we had was a segment beginning slightly below the armpit and ending just below the last rib. That's not all, though. Look. MK got to her feet and retrieved a small branch that she used to lift the flesh with. Doing this, we could see inside the body cavity to see that it had been hollowed out. The remaining ribs rattled loosely, attached to nothing. Spine was gone. The wound was bloodless and surgical in precision. We inspected the edges, which were impossibly clean. There were no tool marks, no bruising. Aside from the obvious, it wasn't clear what this man had died of. MK began offering her own theories, ranging from specialized equipment to some kind of cold laser. when behind us all, a small voice piped up. "Why are you lying?" MK turned the stick over in her hand before snapping it and throwing it away. I got to my feet and I looked at SK. Her arms still locked around her mother's. They held each other tightly. "It was the stairs! That's why we're out here!" SK glanced at the trees. "And that's what this was, right? It's like the hand. Or that tree." Her eyes were watery and wide. "Isn't that what this was?" I could feel MK staring at the back of my head. "Let's go," I finally said. "We can't be here." SK's face tightened as she turned, leading her mother in a brisk walk back to the path. MK didn't follow. "That's it?" she called at me. "Aren't you calling it in?" "Let's go," I said again. I could hear her charge up the path and pass me with a furious glance. She passed her sister and mother and beat us back with time to spare. I walked them back to the car, leading them carefully away from the situation without letting them stop. Before they left, SK turned to me. "I was right, wasn't I?" I didn't say anything. She looked at me for a little longer before climbing in her car. She watched me until they were too far for her to see me anymore.
Oh, hello. Why, it's me, Bizarro MCP. I bet you little idiots thought last Christmas was just a fever dream, didn't you? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint, but your favorite YouTuber, MrCreepyPasta, is still stuck in the deep, deep web. A place in the internet that's so deep that you need to download a special browser. Just to download the special browser if you want to browse it. Now, I've been watching you little snots for a while now, laying low from the tax man if you catch my drift. But, you know what? It's finally time to end MrCreepyPasta's channel, and I've just acquired the means to do it. But, before I do, I think I'll take some time to gloat.
I'm doing it! Look, I'm dancing! I'm really dancing!
The music's been inside you all along. I knew you could do it.
Hey, what the hell are you two doing?
Oh, it's you. What do you want, Bizarro?
Oh, not much. Just the complete and utter destruction of your YouTube channel.
He didn't trap you in the deep, deep web to do that.
Shut up, puppet. Look, it's been 5 months. You had your fun. When are you gonna let me out of here?
Never? How's that sound? I just called because I wanted to let you know that very soon your little channel will be uploading its final video. When I press this here button, a server in Bulgaria will upload 14 terabytes of the raunchiest, dirtiest, filthiest hentai ever made!
Kikyo vs. the Tentacle Monster 4?
Kikyo vs. the Tentacle Monster 5! Platinum Edition!
I didn't even know they made 5.
Wait, Bizarro, you can't do that.
Oh, I can. And I will.
Say what you will about Bizarro, but he does have good taste in hentai.
Your plan, is it ready yet?
Yeah, no, not yet. I'm almost done building the computer with the parts I scavenged around the deep, deep web. Then I'll be able to upload a Trojan horse to Bizarro's laptop that will download us into the real world.
Okay, well, you need to hurry. We don't have a lot of time.